Jai Hind बच्चों. Today we will do one more topic of chapter 6, that is life processes of class 10th, and topic is exchange of gases in plants. Right? So we know that in plants the respiration is aerobic. Right? Means aerobic means they take oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Right? And there is a complete burning of food. If we see the equation of this respiration, so what happened in this process, that food, so food in the form of, if we say glucose, that is C6H12O6, it is burned in the presence of carbon dioxide, right, and releases, burn in the presence of oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, right, plus water and plus energy. Right, and this energy is stored in the form of ATP that we have done in previous videos also. So in plants the respiration is aerobic. The food is burned in the presence of oxygen and release carbon dioxide, water and energy. Clear? So for this we need sufficient intake of oxygen. For burning of food we need sufficient oxygen. The plant has to make it sure that there is plenty of oxygen present in each and every cell. So for that, how they do this? So they do this by stomata, right? So what is stomata? You must have studied in your lower classes that plants, they have these holes which are guarded by these guard cells. Clear? Like this, right? So these are holes. We call them stomatal pore also, or aperture also. Clear? So and these are guarded by these guard cells. Clear? And these stomatal aperture or pore can be closed, can be open. See, so when these guard cells, they take water, they swell and this aperture opens, and when these guard cells, they release water, so then they shrink, and which leads to closing of this pore. So my here drawing is little rough. See, you can we can draw it like this also. So this is a shrinkage of these guard cells. So this is a closing of this. There is no pore, so no exchange of gases. So exchange of gases through these stomata, right? And secondly, there are large intercellular spaces between the cells. Okay? So intercellular spaces, large intercellular spaces are present, which make sure that there is a plenty of air present around these cells, so that oxygen can go in or come out, carbon dioxide can go in and come out both way, right? So the plants, they take carbon dioxide and they release carbon dioxide, and they take oxygen, they release oxygen. So this happens with the process is called diffusion, right? So how this diffusion is there in the cell? If there is a exchange, suppose a cell, there is a oxygen is more in amount, outside is less, so it moves out. Same way, if CO2 is more and outside is less, it moves out. And other way, if CO2 is less outside or CO2 is more outside, it is less, it comes in. This is the diffusion process. Clear? So the diffusion you must have studied in your lower standard also. So exchange of gases, the CO2 and oxygen, it helps with the process called diffusion. It occurs with the process called diffusion, right? So when they take oxygen, when they release carbon dioxide, where they need both these gases, we'll study this. Okay? So we know that respiration is a process which occurs during daytime also and during night time also, right? So it doesn't stop during night or during day. It is a continuous process. Clear? So in respiration, what is the main reason? Is the uptake of oxygen. See, the cells, right? They have this, if we study this plant cells, the central large vacuole, this nucleus, then mitochondria, then chloroplast. So this is the basic structure of plant cell. So what happens during respiration, right? This oxygen is taken in, right? And carbon dioxide is taken out. Clear? We know that it happens in, we also do the same thing. We take oxygen during respiration and we release carbon dioxide. Same thing they do. Clear? But during daytime, photosynthesis also takes place. Clear? So what happens in photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide is required and there is a release of oxygen, opposite to that of respiration. So if we study the equation of photosynthesis, we know that carbon dioxide plus water, right, forms food or glucose, we can say, plus oxygen is released, right? Here we need sunlight and chlorophyll. Clear? So this is photosynthesis, right? So here there is a generation of oxygen which is released out of the cell, and there is uptake of carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. Okay, so we also know that in respiration there is a formation of CO2. In the cell there is a formation of CO2 because of this respiration. So whatever CO2 is generated during respiration, it is used in photosynthesis, right? So here is what is happening. Food is burning in the presence of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide plus water, and this CO2 is used in photosynthesis, whichever is released during. So during daytime, the major event is the release of oxygen, because CO2 is used. This oxygen which is releasing during photosynthesis is the major event. So no release of carbon dioxide and major release of oxygen. So this, it is happening during daytime. Clear? Now what happens during night time? So we know that respiration is a continuous process, right? So there is a generation of carbon dioxide, uptake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. It is happening, but light is absent, so no photosynthesis. So whatever here what is happening? Again, that food is burning in the presence of oxygen and releasing CO2 plus water plus energy. This process is in a continuation, but there is no photosynthesis, so nobody is there to take this carbon dioxide. Clear? So here, this whatever carbon dioxide is generated during respiration, it is released outside. So CO2 which is generated during respiration, it is not used up and it hence move out. So CO2 release is the major event. Clear? So in plants during daytime, oxygen release is a major event, and at night carbon dioxide release is a major event. Clear? So whether CO2 will release or carbon dioxide will, who will decide this? Environmental condition, that is presence of light or absence of light, right? And requirement of plant. Clear? So I hope this is clear to you. See, so we'll do one more topic in our next video. Thank you, students. Thank you so much.